Okay. So this is like part 2 of the
No.
last one. This is the
All
third
right.
video
This
we've made
is
today.
part 3 then.
Yeah, the third one that
All
we've made
right.
today. So I had one more thought about that. We're talking about Laura Saunders being the daughter of Simmons Jones,
Yeah.
Dr. Simmons
Hmm.
Jones, and that she was encouraging him to write the
She had
recollection.
asked him
She
to
asked him
write
to.
his recollections of the family.
So also, if you go, and you know this, but if we go into the cemetery where Simmons Jones Baker Sr. is buried, there's a monument, and on the monument is a lot of
Yes.
genealogy, and that monument, it says, was placed there by children and grandchildren of Simmons Jones Baker. And it's my theory that Laura loved genealogy, and that was why she asked him to write this, and she probably had something to do with the monument, and maybe she had something to do with getting a replica made, because I understand that
No.
I want to get a replica made. I don't know, but it's just
Well,
it's a theory.
I have a list of all the names. Well, it's in the book too.
But the person who made the monument possible, it's a theory. Because it says children and grandchildren, and
Well, remember the only, as far as I recall, the only baker in Scotland Neck or in Halifax County in 1857 when Dr. Baker died
yes.
was Dr. Baker. All the rest of them were named Smith.
No Saunders?
I don't believe so, but we we could we could. I just saw
Isn't
the list
there,
just now.
isn't the farm that he's buried on called the Hall farm? And weren't the Halls descendants
No,
also?
no, he buried in his own farm, and his plantation was called Palmyra.
But now today it's called the Hall. Today it's called
Well,
the
it may
Hall.
be the Hall Farm now, but it was his plantation back then, and was originally in Martin County rather than Halifax County, but
Yeah,
they changed it.
maybe the Halls descended from the Smiths or something.
The Halls are part of the family.
Okay. Do you know how they're part of the family?
Hmm?
Do you know how the Halls are part of the
Not
family?
from memory. I have it somewhere.
Okay.
Uh, uh, there is one gentleman who wrote my grandfather, Fenner, who grew up in Scotland Neck,
Mm-hmm.
the history of the town of Halifax. And I have what's known as a carbon copy of his letter. Carbon copy was something one inserted in a typewriter
Right.
between two sheets of paper
I actually
that
made
gave an
those. Yeah.
impression of what was actually typed on the first sheet of paper.
Yeah. I'm old enough that I did that one time
Okay.
too.
I have that letter, that carbon copy. Now, if there are other carbon copies, I don't know, but I have that, and I intend to give that to either Historical Society in Halifax or one of the Hamp brothers.
That would be very interesting.
No, no,
So let's
no,
stop
no,
and
no.
make
And
part
his
4.
name may well have been Hall. He was a recording clerk of court in New York City.
Okay.
But it's another subject entirely.
Okay. Let's take a stop here.